Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Trace Hammer alongside Jordan and Inman. Now we will be covering tonight's varsity boys basketball matchup between the Lebanon Tigers and the Covington Trojans. Tonight is the Trojans' homecoming night, and the fans are ecstatic to get this game going. We got about 3 minutes left until tip-off, and this should be a well matched up game, as both teams have very similar records and very similar schedules. We will see if the Trojans can prevail or the Tigers can pull off the upset.
Game day.
Game day.
Game day.
Game day.
It's game day.
Game day.
Game day.
Game day.
Game day. It's game day!
It's game day!
It's game day!
They have a 6-5 guy. Five seniors, one junior, one junior. They're going to be hurt next year. Number 3. Number 2 is for Corbin
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Covington welcomes you to the Trojan Gym for tonight's basketball matchup between the Lebanon Tigers and your Covington Trojans. At this time, would you please rise, and we ask you to please remove your hats as we honor America with the performance of our national anthem, performed by the CHS Band and the Alumni Band. tonight's starting lineups. First for the visitors, the Lebanon Tigers. At forward, a sophomore, number 25, Kobe Ottinger. At forward, senior, number 20, Luke Farrell. At guard, senior, number 2, Varsity Burke. At guard, sophomore, number 24, Reese Jones. And at guard, senior, number 22, Michael Reese. Assistant coaches for the Tigers are Dave Farrell, Aaron Vaughn, Trey Hendricks. Head coach, Albert Hendricks. And now, for your Covington Trojans! At guard, a senior, number 3, Colton Brown. At guard, a sophomore, number 11, Allen Hartloff. At forward, a senior, number 15, Daniel Keller. At guard, a junior, number 21, Logan Peterson. And at forward, a senior, number 24, Caleb Elmore. Head coach, Mr. Adam Ballard. Your officials tonight, Terry Baker, Ty Harlow, and Mark Sexton.
You're controlling the score.
And the tip goes to Lebanon as number 25.
Kobe.
Number 2, Bertrand swings it over to 25, Ottinger. Lebanon looks to penetrate, but it's not fine on number 22. Reese gives it around to Ottinger, gives it to Bertrand. Cross-court pass back to Reese. Bertrand takes the 3, and he will put it in off the left wing for the Tigers as Carfault will bring it up for the Trojans. Brown on the left wing swings it over to Keller, gives it to Elmore, gives it to Keller on the right wing. Nice dump off pass to Elmore, swings it back out to Harrison, and there's a steal by the Tigers. As Bertrand brings it up, settles in the right wing, looks to drive, tries to take the baseline, gives it over to number 22, Reese for the 3, and there's an air ball. Rebound by Brown, gives it to Keller on the fast break layup, and it is good. Trojans 2, Tigers 3. Number 24 drones to bring it up for the Tigers, and that is off the hands of Bertrand. Turnover on the Tigers as the Trojans regain possession.
Elmore with it for the Trojans, kicks it out to Carfault at the left wing. Brown thinks about a 3-ball at the top. Over to Keller. Keller looks to drive, passes it out to Brown, who will take it in for the floater, and no good. Rebounded by Farrell of the Tigers.
Tough roll for Brown. I personally think Bertrand sounds a lot cooler than Bertrand.
I think it is pronounced Bertrand. So
alrighty then, I suppose so.
Say it. Reese with it. Bertrand back out to Reese, who will take the 3, and it'll be short. Rebounded. Scuffle there, rebounded by Brown of the Trojans, who push it up the floor. Crosses left, picks up his dribble. Keller for 3. No good.
Off the
Rebounded
front
by
of the
Reese.
rim for the Trojans. tough miss.
Jones bringing it up for the Tigers.
On the three-point attempt, as he will go to the strike for three. Bertrand's first attempt will be no good, off the back of the rim. Second attempt is good. Third attempt for Bertrand, and that is good. He makes 2 out of the 3 at the strike, making the lead 5-2 Tigers with 5:18 left in the first, as Carfall brings it up for the Trojans, nearly travels, gives it over to Keller, looks to penetrate, takes the wild layup. Nice, crafty finish by Keller. Cuts the lead down to 1 for the Trojans. 4-5 Tiger lead.
Solid move by Keller down there. Bertrand over to Reese. Good defense by the Trojans. Deflected pass picked up by Jones. Bertrand with it at the wing. Will drive left, kick it out, and that's a turnover. Picked up by Brown. Swings it up to Keller.
A little too much for Reese to handle there.
Looked like a travel there, but Elmore puts it up for 2, and the Trojans take the lead 6-5.
That pretty post fade jump shot by Elmore. That has proven to be his signature move throughout this season.
Almost stolen again.
Very pesky defense by the Trojans.
Sounded like a smack on the wrist.
Colton Brown
by
just in
but got
everyone's
away with
business
it.
here. Nice pass by number 25, Ottinger, for the bucket for the Tigers, making the lead 6-7. Tiger lead. Brown on the left wing swings it over to Keller at the top of the key. Elmore on the elbow gives it over to Keller, looks to drive. And he will take the mid-range jumper. Nearly has an and 1, but he will go to the strike for 2 off of that mid-range attempt. Had a chance for another lead change. Keller's first attempt is good. Second attempt for Keller is good. Regaining the lead, the Trojans. Reese Jones to bring it up for the Tigers. Swings it over to Reese. Gives it to Jones on the left wing. Gets it over to Reese, down to Ottinger. Swings it back over to Reese. And over to number 20, who will get it off the front of the rim as Keller looks to push for the Trojans. Swings it over to Carfall on the left wing. Gives it to Brown. Swings it back to Keller at the top of the key. Pinkerton thinks about the 3. Gives it over to Carfall at the top of the key. Gives it over to Keller. Looks to penetrate. And it is stolen by Bertrand.
Really scrappy there by Brown to get down there, putting his body on the line to get that ball.
Reese Jones to pass it in for the Tigers. Gets it in to Reese. And nearly stolen by Carfall. It will be stolen by Carfall. Gets it to Brown for the fast break. Lay in. And Ballard is fired up along with the rest of this Covington Trojans crowd, as the Trojans go up 3 with 2:56 left in the first. Scrappy defensive play by Carfall, and that really proves to be how great of a defensive player that Carfall is. Gets it to Jones at the top of the key. Throws it over to Farrell at the right wing. Gets it to Bertrand, who gets under the defense and scores in the post, making it a 1-point deficit for the Tigers.
Carfall with it for the Trojans. Elmore back to Carfall. Looking for somewhere to throw it. Gets it to Brown, over to Keller.
Keller might take that 3
left.
later in the game.
Turnaround, fadeaway jumper, and
Oh
he hits.
boy, is that pretty. That is a pretty shot by Keller. And he knows it.
Bertrand over to Reese.
And another steal by the Trojans.
Timeout Lebanon.
Trojans defense coming up clutch here in the first quarter, and that is a 5-point lead, the largest of the game for the Trojans. This is a Trojans team that's virtually unbeatable.
You know, this might not be the best time, but I just want to point out a point of interest. Tanner Dreer's outfit over there in the crazy section is something else, is it not?
I have to agree with that one. It almost looks like he'll bulge out of that shirt, and you know that's not his shirt size.
It's tough to see, but that man over there in the suspenders with the bikini shirt on, man, is he rocking that or what?
Absolutely rocking that, absolutely. Really brings out the color in his eyes. All right, back to the game here as number 24, Jones, brings it up for the Tigers, gets it over to Bertrand. Wild pass over to Jones, gets it over to Bertrand, ball fakes at the top of the key, thinks about the three for a second, gets it over to Farrell on the right wing. Number 33, Crew, earns the game for the first time as Jones thinks about three, takes a mid-range jumper, short, off the top of the rim, rebound by Elmore, and Carfault will bring it up for the Trojans, looks to push. Pinkerton will drive, kick it over to Keller, and Elmore will take the three, nearly puts it in. That would have really got this crowd in, although there's an offensive rebound by Carfault. Gets to Pinkerton on the corner. Carfault looks to ISO drive. And he will nearly take it himself. And spin around jumper by Elmore off the back of the rim.
Bertrand to bring it up for the Tigers. Almost stolen again by Carfault, but Ottinger will convert for the Tigers. Carfault brings it up for the Trojans. Here with 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. Looks like Trojans are going to hold for the last shot.
Farrell paying very tight on Keller, although he is far back in the half court. Turned around mid-range by Keller, and that would have been a very pretty shot, but it's just not, it fails to fall.
Foot's on the line. No good.
Nearly put in by Jones for the Tigers, but it does not fall, and that makes the score 14 Trojans, 11 Tigers at the end of the first. Very solid quarter for the Trojans, very solid quarter on both sides. This has proven itself to be a very even matched game on both sides of the ball.
Basketball game held in the middle school gym, also known as the old Varsity gym.
Keller passes it into Carfault for the Trojans. Carfault brings it up, gives it to Pinkerton, right inside the arc, looks to drive, puts in the wild layup, and he will convert off the left block for the Trojans, making the lead 5 early in the second quarter, as Jones will bring it up for the Tigers. Gives it over to Farrell on the left wing. Near travel, gives it to Bertrand, and passes it into number 25, Ottinger. He will score for the Tigers as Carfall brings it up once again for the Trojans. Carfall has it on the left wing. Gives it to Brown, who will take the long three, and he will make it. He has it. Three-point conversion by Colton Brown. If that kid can get going,
it's tough to stop.
It's very tough to stop when he consistently makes his shots. Jones passes over to Ottinger in the post, and he loses it out of bounds. Very poor concentration on that possession by the Tigers. Trojans up 6 now, largest lead of the game. Let's see if they can put this lead to double digits here in this second quarter. Keller at the top of the key. Elmore gives it to Keller on the right wing. Mid-range jumper by Keller, and that is a sweet shot by Keller. That mid-range game for Daniel Keller is a very consistent one, as it is proven every game as the Trojans go up 21-13.
Bertrand with it for the Tigers, defended by Keller. Over to Jones, back to Bertrand. Pass to the corner to Farrell. Down low for the easy layup.
Nice pass by Bertrand there. What a pass by Brown. I could not see him pass that, but he got it to Elmore somehow.
I don't know if that was a pass. I think he might have just kind of let it fly after he fell, to be honest. But
would he have gotten the assist, though?
Yes, but I don't think the pass was intentional is what I'm saying.
That's fair, that's fair. Elmore's first attempt is good. Second attempt by Elmore is right through the middle of that rim and putting the Trojans up 8 with 5:59 left in the second. Timeout by Lebanon.
30-second timeout
for the Trojans. My mistake. 30-second timeout for the Trojans.
Second quarter, the Trojans are up 23-15 over the Tigers. For the most part, it's been a pretty close game, as the Trojans have just started to pull away here early in the second. Jones with it, gets it to Farrell. Farrell to Bertrand. Deflected by Carfall.
Another incredible defensive play by Carfall as he throws it off the leg of Farrell. Alan Carfall is having himself a masterful defensive game as he proceeds to bring it up for the Trojans. Keller at the top of the league gives it to Elmore at the elbow, who will give it to Keller on the right wing. Dumps it off to Elmore, who will pump fake and nearly put in, but that is a foul. That seemed to be quite a foul on Elmore there. It was no call, no call. Bertrand has it at the top of the key. Dribbles to the right wing. Gets it to Farrell. Swings it over to Reese. Back to Farrell in the corner. Down to Bertrand on the elbow. Another heads-up play by Carfall as it is off of Reese.
Carfall playing with a ton of aggression here early in the first half.
Nice take by Pinkerton. Nearly puts in the N1. He will have 2 chances at the strike to put this lead into double digits for the first time tonight.
Foul number 2, Bertrand. His first, Trojans at the line for 2.
Pinkerton's first attempt. Is good. Second attempt by Pinkerton is good, putting the Trojans up 10 with 4:48 left in the second, with Jones bringing it up for the Tigers. Swings it over to Bertrand on the left wing, gives it over to Farrell at the top of the key, dribbles right, gives it to Jones, back to Ottinger. Reese and Farrell thinks about the 3, gives it over to, and there's a floater by Bertrand, cutting the lead back down to 8, 25-17 with 4:23 left in the second quarter. Karpel has it on the left wing, swings it over to Brown, back to Keller on the right wing, tries to get it to Elmore. Karpel dishes it down to Elmore, and he backs down Ottinger, and a big man move there by Elmore puts in the routine layup, putting the Trojans back up by 10.
Bertrand with it. Over to Farrell. Back to Jones. Reese will take a 3 ball, and it'll be short off the front of the rim. Picked up by Brown as he pushes it up the floor. Gets it to Keller in the corner. Fakes the 3. Gets it to Elmore for the easy layup.
That Caleb Elmore always seems to be in the right place at the right time. His offensive rebounds are off the charts this year.
This is Trojan basketball if I've ever seen it.
And the Tigers cannot seem to get anything to fall here. Bertrand thinks about the 3, gives it over to Ottinger on the baseline, swings it over to Jones, gets it to Farrell on the left wing. Reese gives it to Bertrand on the left wing. Looks to drive, hop step mover, and a strip by Keller. Looks to push. He will take it himself, and he nearly converts. Tough layup, and the rebound by Farrell.
Jones defended by Brown. Down to Reese. Stolen by Elmore. Another turnover by the Tigers as he gets the easy layup.
The Trojans defense is playing phenomenally in this first half. If they can keep up this defensive intensity, they will undoubtedly win this basketball game. Man, there seems to be a lid on the bucket of this Lebanon side of the court. Bertrand will go to the line for 2 to cut this lead down to 12.
I want to talk about how Pinkerton has been relatively quiet here early in the first, well, throughout the entire first half, scoring only 2 points. But hopefully with how well everyone else is playing, hopefully here at the end of this half and the beginning of the next half that he'll be able to light it up.
Well, I'd say half, if not more than half of all the Trojans' points has come off fast break defense, and that's been between Karpel and Elmore along with Keller. There hasn't been a lot of offensive set possessions as Bertrand misses the first free throw attempt off the back of the rim. And second free throw attempt, completely identical to the first, but Ottinger regains the offensive rebound for the Tigers as Jones has it on the left wing, swings it over to Reese, nearly stolen by Elmore. And it is ultimately not stolen, knocked away by Elmore, but maintained by Bertrand. Farrell on the right wing. Doesn't know how to throw it to. Dribbles back, gives it to Bertrand, poked away by Carfault. Swing pass over to Ottinger, takes the three, and finally a field goal by the Tigers, making the score 31-20 Trojans with 1:15 left in the half.
Keller drives left, gets it down to Elmore, and Pinkerton with it at the top, defended by Bertrand.
Surprised Elmore didn't take that jump shot. That was most definitely in his range. Drive by Pinkerton, kicks out to Carfault. Keller dumps off to Elmore, pump fake, put in by Elmore. Masterful move by the Covington big man to put them back up by 13 with less than a minute to go in the half.
Once again, good defense by the Trojans as Elmore smacks it right out of the hands of the, I didn't see who the Lebanon player was, but he smacked it out of bounds. Jones to inbound, gets it right into Bertrand at the corner. And that's going to be Trojan ball off the foot of Ottinger. Elmore to inbound, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Trojans hold for the last shot. I mean, if they get an open shot, they might take it before the time runs out, but we'll just have to see, I suppose. And yeah, it looks like they're gonna hold for the last shot.
Let's see if Pinkerton keeps this one himself. He sure seems comfortable in the ISO situation. Dumps off to Keller, who would have undoubtedly shot that three, but there is a foul on Bertrand of the Tigers. Brown to pass it in for the Trojans with 4.9 seconds left in the half. Trojans have ample time to get a shot off. Gives it to Carfault. One. Brown for the last second three, and is off the front of the rim. Trojans 33, Tigers 20. And that is the end of the first half as the Trojans played a very, very solid first half. And the Tigers.
I'd just like to point out before we go away for halftime that when the Trojans play at the potential that they know that they're capable of, this is what you see. A 13-point lead against a very good Lebanon team, and almost if they play to their full potential, they're almost unbeatable.
Indeed.
And we'll see you at the start of the second half.
And we are back for second half coverage of tonight's varsity exhibition between Covington Trojans and the Lebanon Tigers. Wonderful, wonderful first half by the Trojans, and the Tigers honestly did not have a bad half themselves, but the Trojans ultimately are playing unstoppable basketball right now. And Farrell will pass it into Jones, as Jones will bring it up for the Tigers. Jones swings it over to Bertrand, looks to drive, tries to get a quick bucket in. He is fouled by Carfault.
The Tigers go right at it, trying to catch the Trojans off guard, just being super aggressive right away.
They want to get the lead back very, very, very quickly. Bertrand's first attempt off the back of the rim again. That seems to be a consistent miss for Bertrand. Second attempt by Bertrand is good, making the lead 33-21 for the Trojans. Carfault passes it over to Keller on the right wing, gives it to Carfault on the left wing, gives it to Brown, thinks about the three, drives, tries to get it to Elmore in the post. Jones comes up with the offensive rebound for the Tigers.
That's what they can't start. They can't start turning the ball over on that side of the floor.
Travel by Reese there for the Tigers, as Carfault will bring it up after the turnover by Reese. Pinkerton swings it over to Keller. Keller looks to drive. He's going to take this one all the way, and he will put it off and around the end rim, and Bertrand will recover it for the Tigers. Gets it into Ottinger, and it is blocked by Pinkerton. What a block by Logan Pinkerton. Tremendous block by Pinkerton there.
What an athlete out there, my goodness.
Very athletic play by Pinkerton. He seems surprised himself that he got up that high.
Carfault to bring it up, gets it over to Elmore. Good hustle there.
Heads-up play by Carfault. Crazy sequence of events there, but the Tigers ultimately end up with the ball. Gets it down to Farrell, and he will convert on the low post for the Tigers, making the lead 33-23 Trojans with 6:23 left in the third. Elmore swings it over to Carfault in the corner. Carfault looking to post up for Elmore. Dishes it over to Elmore, and the Trojans are getting sloppy with the ball here. Not a good sign, not a good sign at all. And Farrell converts for the Tigers, and this is exactly what they wanted. Exactly what Lebanon wanted to start this second half, as they are down by a meager 8 points. Trojans are starting to lose their sharpness. They must recover it if they want to maintain a comfortable lead in this game.
They can't get sloppy with the ball. That will be the downfall of this team.
Indeed.
They cannot stay sharp with the ball in their hands.
Indeed.
Good decisions.
Complete and total consistency is what this team needs, and if that is what they have, then they're arguably one of the better teams in this state.
And another problem that I think that they face is they don't have a whole lot of depth on their roster. Their starting five is experienced. They played a lot of basketball in their lives, but they have a lot of younger guys at the end of the bench who are going to they're going to eventually have to step up, and they're going to have to play in certain moments, and they got to be ready for it.
And they are very well conditioned for the lack of depth. They just have to mentally stay conditioned and stay in this game.
Thank you.
Carfault to bring it up for the Trojans. Gets it over to Elmore. top of the key. Keller drives, gets stuck under the rim. Pinkerton thinks about the three, takes the drive, pretty drive by Pinkerton, and he will convert on the and one attempt. And let's see if he can make the free throw to complete the attempt, putting the Trojans back up by 10 with 5:46 left in the third.
Putting the Trojans back up by 11. Come on, let's get our math.
If you're
right
assuming that he's going to make this free throw, which
Yes.
I'd say so.
That's what I was saying. You said that if he made
Solid free throw shooter in Pinkerton.
And he converts to put the Trojans up by 11.
Farrell thinks about the three, gives it back to Reese at the top of the key. Back to Reese. Ottinger in the corner, swings it over to Bertrand. Gets it to the baseline, gives it over to Reese. Mid-range jumper off the back of the rim, rebounded by Ottinger. Under the rim, down to Bertrand. Wonderful defense by the Trojans, blocked by Keller, and they will ultimately maintain possession. Timely blocked by Keller. Trojans defense maintains its tenacity and ultimately.
What a block there by Keller, absolute athlete out there.
A number of athletic plays by the Trojans, but an offensive foul there on the Trojans. Jones will bring it up for the Tigers.
No.
My colleague there had a little mishap with his chili dog. I apologize. Bertrand takes the long three, and that is an air ball by Bertrand. Interesting shot selection there by Bertrand. Seemed very confident in himself, but ultimately missed that three-point attempt. Carfault to bring it up for the Trojans. Pinkerton swings it back to Keller. Keller looks to drive, takes it back to the left, maintains the drive, kicks it over to Carfault on the right wing. Carfault drives, spins, gives it to Keller. Keller takes a cut, and he will nearly have an and one there. But will go to the line for two to potentially put this Trojan lead back up to 13. First attempt by Keller, in and out. That touched about every part of the rim before it decided to not fall. Unfortunate miss by Keller. Keller's second attempt is good, putting the Trojans up 12 with 4:19 left in the third. Jones brings it up for the Tigers. Jones has it at the top of the, gets it over to Bertrand, takes the corner three, and it will be off the front of the rim. Elmore with the defensive rebound, swings it over to Carfault. Carfault looks to push. And now Carfault is slowing it down for the Trojans. Nice cross by Carfault. He looks to take it all the way. And jump ball call there as Ottinger looked to tie it up.
Brown to inbound for the Trojans. Gets it to Elmore. Elmore over to Carfault. Carfault takes the three. Don't
and
disrespect
converts.
the three ball. Do not disrespect his three ball.
That might be Carfault's first shot attempt of the night. And a pure shooter that sophomore is. Jones for three, and he will answer with the three of his own. Putting the lead back down to 12. Nice drive by Pinkerton, and right back at you, Pinkerton puts in the layup for the Trojans, putting the lead back up to 14 with 3 minutes and 6 seconds down, but the clock seems to still be running. That'll be fixed. About 3 minutes, 8 seconds left in the third. And the clock management does not seem to be noticing his error here. We'll see if, there we go, and 3 minutes and 7 seconds left in the third. Farrell to pass it in for the Tigers, and Jones will bring it up. Swings it over to Reese on the left wing, gets it back to Jones. Reese on the left, Jones in the corner. Tries to dish it in to the post, but it is seemingly wasn't past anyone as it goes out on Jones. Trojans retain possession, and Pinkerton will bring it up for the Trojans, swing it over to Carfault, who will cross half court. Carfault looks to penetrate. Gets it over to Keller. Brown screams for the ball, but will not get it.
Pinkerton with it, and it's going to be a blocking foul on Jones. Brown to inbound for the Trojans. Gets it out to Keller. Hand off to Carfault. Keller thinks about a three.
Sweet shot by Keller. There is that pretty mid-range game.
And that is exactly what his game is. The mid-range shot, he has dang near perfected it.
Largest lead of the game for the Trojans, 28-44, 16-point deficit for the Tigers. Minute 53 left in the third quarter.
Elmore to inbound for the Trojans as Greg checks in the game for Ottinger. Nope, Crew, my bad, not Greg.
Carfault to bring it up for the Trojans.
Carfault shakes his defender, and it's going to be out.
Elmore didn't seem to see the ball coming there. Trojans have a chance to blow this game out here. Break it apart, go up by 19, and go put it into 20s after this possession as Ottinger dishes, and it's stolen by Carfault yet again. This fast break layup by Brown. Alan Carfault with the assist on the beautiful fast break pass. Trojans go up 18 with a minute 10 left in the third. Jones gives it to Bertrand on the left wing. Bertrand gets it to Jones at the top of the key. And Reese will take the corner three, and then will be short, despite being absolutely wide open. Reese will not convert the routine layup, and he will fail to convert again on the even more routine layup. Keller looks to push to put this game, make this a 20-point deficit, and Carfault thinks about the three. May regret that decision. Very wide open three for Carfault, although he seems to slow it down to potentially have the last shot for the Trojans. 25 seconds left in the third.
Looks like some talk between the two players.
Alan Carfault with the ISO here as everyone, and here we go. Alan Carfault will dish it off to Caleb Elmer with a baseline jumper, and that is good. Brilliant offensive play by the Trojans, making it seem like Carfault was going to ISO there, and Caleb Elmore sneaks onto the baseline. Carfault dishes it off, and Caleb Elmore scores the baseline J to put the Trojans up 20 with 8 at the end of the third. Beginning of the fourth quarter will start with the Trojans up 48 to 28.
A little bit of talk there between Crew and Carfault up here at the top as Carfault calls his own isolation. That's a lot of confidence in himself to take the ball at the rim like that and dish it off to Elmore for the
and to handle himself with such poise as to dish it off to Elmore to cap the quarter off and put the team up by 20.
On the Trojans' homecoming night, they're currently up 48 to 28 over the Lebanon Tigers as they have recently just pulled away and increased the lead. Rebounded by Pinkerton, who brings it up for the Trojans. Pass all the way down to Brown in the corner. Elmore with it at the wing. Pinkerton has it now. Sauces him for the layup, and they're going to call the charge. Tough call.
Controversial call by the ref there as Pinkerton seemed to be able to convert an and one, but a charging foul on Pinkerton. Jones to bring it up for the Tigers. Farrell swings it over to Bertrand, looks to drive, spin move, mid-range jumper, and that is good. Pretty move by Bertrand to break the 20-point deficit. Carfault brings it up for the Trojans. Remarkable poise by Carfault as he is only a sophomore for this Covington squad. Number 33, Crew, guards Daniel Keller. Keller dishes it to Brown, and it is stolen by Jones. Not the greatest pass, but another heads-up play by Carfault as Logan Pinkerton looks to push, gives it to Brown. Brown drives, and Jones comes out of nowhere, and Brown comes out of nowhere, and multiple steals in the last 15 seconds. Tempers are flaring here.
The Lebanon fans are livid.
The Lebanon coach is absolutely livid. Will we get a technical foul on the Lebanon coach? No, we will not. No, we will not.
Tempers flare. Everyone's mad at everyone. Man, this increases the intensity of tonight's game.
The Lebanon coach has been seemingly very calm and collected this whole game, and a sudden outburst by the Lebanon coach. Keller looks to drive, tries to dish to Elmore, and a sudden defensive presence by the Tigers. And there's a lot of feelings on the floor here tonight with 6:08 left in the fourth.
A lot of emotion. Let's see if either team can keep their composure and try to keep things under control, keep their emotions out of it.
Jones to pass it into Reed, who takes another three, and in and out. Reed has missed his last 4 or 5 shot attempts. Carfeld to bring it up for the Trojans. Elmore swings it over to Brown on the left wing, gets it to Keller at the top of the key. Elmore on the elbow. Keller looks to drive. Mid-range floater.
No good.
And that was off the front of the rim as Farrell falls, gets it to number 33 Crew, and Jones looks to push, but ultimately will not. And Carfeld almost makes another defensive play. Jones looks to drive, takes it over to Farrell, takes the three, and that is good for Farrell, putting the Tigers' deficit down to 15. Carfeld brings it up for the Trojans. Swings it over to Keller, back to Elmore at the top of the key. Carfeld gets it to Brown, swings it over to Keller. Keller gives it to Elmore, seems to be open in the post. Big man move by Elmore.
Big man move
backs
by
him
Elmore.
down with his shoulder and puts it in off the glass in the post for the Trojans, putting them back up by 17 with 4 minutes 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Surprised Reese didn't take that three down there in the corner.
Cruz swings it over to Bertrand, and another three taken by Farrell, but he will miss. And there is a foul on Carfault, and Carfault seems to be shaken up on the ground here. Let's see if he's all right. He seems to be okay. His facial expressions. It's hard fall on his knee. He seems all right. He seems, we'll see how he sees. Okay.
Maybe a cramp. I'm not too sure what happened.
We'll see how this handles
Yeah,
out in the rest of this game. And
I'm going to say that was a cramp probably.
Bellard is contemplating on taking his star sophomore out. I think you're right, Jordan. Wonderful game by Carfall, nonetheless. As Jones passes it in for the Tigers into Reese, and Bertrand will take the three, and that is an air ball. And the missed layup by Crew. The Trojans are definitely in the Tigers' heads here, as that is a warm-up layup that he absolutely blew. And he knows it. Three by Reese, and another missed three by Reese. Pinkerton gets it up to Colton Brown, and he will not be able to catch it. A little overthrown there by Pinkerton. Risky pass nonetheless. Trojans maintain a 17-point lead with 4:17 left in the fourth.
Jones to inbound, and he will bring it up for the Tigers. High off the glass. Don't know where he was going with that one.
Wild layup there by Jones.
And I thought it was going to be on Crew. He grabs the back of the jersey of Elmore.
Carfall gets over to Caleb in the middle, swings it over to Keller in the right corner. Keller gets it over to Pinkerton. Pinkerton looks to penetrate. Very nice pass down to Elmore, but once again, the Tigers disrupt the assist attempt by Pinkerton. Pinkerton goes to the line for two as the Trojans are in the bonus. 1-1 for Pinkerton. First attempt is off the back of the rim. Rebound by Ottinger. Bertrand will bring it up for the Tigers. Give it to Reese on the wing. Farrell at the top of the key. Swings it back to Bertrand. Gives it to Jones at the top of the key. Jones gives it to Ottinger, and Reese swings it over to Farrell. Takes the corner three, and that is off the front of the rim. Rebound by Colton Brown. Very nice rebound by Brown. Keller will once again try to dish it to Elmore. Lets it go, and that is off of
I do not see how they're going to call that
the
Tiger basketball.
Trojans.
It was clearly off of the hand of a Lebanon player.
I'd have to agree. I really don't believe that ever touched a Trojan finger after it went off of the Tigers.
Ballard is not very happy as he smacks
As he rightfully so, rightfully should be. That was 5 or 6 seconds left in the offensive. That was preposterous by the refs. Trojans get it to Elmore at the top of the key and lead deficit down to 15 for the Tigers. 2:45 left in the fourth. Carfall in the corner. Swings it over to Pinkerton at the top of the key. Keller on the left wing swings it over to Pinkerton. Pinkerton looks to drive. He will drive and is blocked by Reese. Lackluster drive attempt by Pinkerton, and Carfall seems to have trouble running here. Farrell thinks about three-point attempt. Bertrand takes three-point attempt, and way short there. And a hold on the Tigers as Brown will go to the line for two to put this Trojan lead back up to 17. 2:18 left in the fourth here for the Trojans. Brown's first attempt is good. Second attempt by Brown will fall. Making the lead 52-35 Trojans with 2:16 left in the fourth.
Jones brings it up for the Tigers, defended by Brown. Brown driving all the way down to the corner, down to the baseline. They're going to call the foul. I don't know about that one either, but we're just going to live with that one. A lot of fouls being called here within the past probably 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. As the Tigers just now getting the bonus, as Jones will shoot his first free throw of a 1-and-1, and it's no good, rebounded by Elmore. Brown brings it up.
I can see the Trojans putting together one more bucket here to end this game, and then solid defensive possession, run the clock out. Pinkerton penetrates, dribbles back out, penetrates again. Let's see what he'll do. Gives it back to Carfall, thinks about the three, dribbles out to the right wing, gives it to Pinkerton. Pinkerton drives. Let's see what he'll do with it. That is out on Pinkerton. With Pinkerton attempts another lackluster drive. Jones to pass it in for the Tigers.
And that'll be a 30-second timeout taken by Covington. Very well played game by the Trojans. Their defense has been phenomenal for the most part. Just recently it's starting to fall apart maybe a little bit, but for the most part they've held everything together, and here with a minute 30 to go in the game, I don't see Lebanon coming back from this deficit.
All in all, they maintained their composure well, and they played to their full potential, and that is what ultimately won this game for them. Tenacious defense and quality offense. Move the ball well, set quality screens.
The Trojans can play like this, how they have tonight, through the rest of the season and through possibly further, as far as they go in the state tournament. You might be able to be, you might be seeing them in late March, maybe.
I don't see a lot of teams that can beat this Trojan team we're seeing tonight. Bertrand will drive, put up a floater, and Jones puts up a three and puts it in. We have a push on Caleb Elmore. The three-point basket will count, but we also have free throws for Bertrand. Very just uncommon play that just went down. First attempt by
Bertrand. No good. Rebounded by Elmore, the Trojans. And he gets it to Carfault. Carfault will swing it back over to Brown. In the corner, Pinkerton.
Ottinger fouls Pinkerton, and Pinkerton will go to the line for two to put this lead up to 16. With 1:04 left in the fourth, safe to say that the Trojans have won this game on their homecoming. Pinkerton's first attempt is good. Second attempt by Pinkerton is good.
Trojans up by 16 here with a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Ready to put this Tigers team to bed. Bertrand will take a three, and that'll be long, rebounded by Carfault. We'll swing it all the way to Keller. He'll put it up.
And one by Keller! And there we have it, there we have it. Absolutely ridiculous play by Keller as he seemed to shoot that basketball as his body was behind the basket.
That man is an absolute athlete.
Nothing short of an absolute athlete, and I believe he will sink this free throw to put this Trojan team up 19. What a play by Keller. What a play by Keller as Brown comes out for the Trojans. Incredible game by the Trojans. Keller sinks the free throw to convert the and one. And Keller he's feeling it. He is feeling it. Keller comes out, Carfault comes out, Pinkerton comes out. We have Springer, Elmore, Herzog, and Beaver out on the floor for the Trojans. Brilliantly played, brilliantly coached by Ballard, and wonderful game by the Trojans. Bertrand forces up a shot, forces up another shot. He will go to the strike for two, and a lot of frustration on the Tiger side.
Bertrand's first free throw, no good.
Now, the downfall in Bertrand's game definitely seems to be his free throws as he misses both attempts.
Another foul as Farrell will shoot two more free throws. His first is good. And his second is good as well.
Full court pressure here by the Tigers as they look to make this lead as small as possible. Beaver will get it to Springer, who will get it back over to Beaver, who will hopefully pass the half court, and he will not. It was stolen as Jones takes the three for the Tigers. Air ball, rebound by Alex Rogers. He will bring it up for the Trojans and gets it to Springer, gets it to Elmore. Back to Rogers, and that will run it out for the Trojans.
I think if Lebanon would have played as hard as they just did when they put in their subs, they would have played that hard all game. They might have ended up on the other side of the
Statement win for the Trojans there, 57-40. Very, very well played by the Trojans. And respect to the Tigers, they played very well also.
And the Trojans get their win on their homecoming night. And thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast, and we will see you next time.